Welcome back. We're on day 6 of our Dragon Eye project, and I think today's maybe the most exciting day because we actually get to start making this. It's going to be amazing. So this is the eye I decided to go with, and you can see the center part of the eye. I kind of based it on this. If you didn't do that, that's okay. But look through your glass eyes and see which one you want to use for yours. I wanted to go with a bit of contrast, some of those complementary colors like we talked about in the last demo. So this one has like some blues and purples in it, and so obviously the complementary to blue would be orange and purple would be yellow, and I've got some yellows in there. Or you could also look at this kind of as these are warm colors, and then this has some of the cool colors, right? It doesn't have all of them, but it has some cool colors in there. And I just thought that would give it a nice like pop, pizzazz. Anyway, important things to note. This is air drying clay. It dries in the air, as the name implies. So we definitely need to make sure we've got that plastic baggie ready to go today. You are going to be making a total of 2 eyes. Okay, 2 in total. So this one bag will make this first eye. Don't open your second bag, just the first bag. Get your plastic baggie ready to go, your Ziploc as well, because if you don't finish it all today, which you've got today and also next class to finish it officially, you're going to want to keep it in that Ziploc bag, and you'll want to squeeze the air out of the Ziploc bag so that it does not, because if there's air in it, it's still going to dry with that air. You know what I'm saying? So we want to just make sure that, it's as airtight as possible. Okay, so once again, when I'm opening this up, I want to feel for the side with the air pocket. And there it was. I'm going to kind of find that seam and see if today's is better than last time. Yep, it is. So I'm going to open that right on up. And there we have it. There's my air dry clay. I'm going to cut this into thirds. So 1/3 of it is going to be for the back of the eye, 1/3 is going to be for the eyelids, and 1/3 is going to be for all these fun details that we're going to add to it as well. So let's see, here's about 1/3, here's about 1/3, and about 1/3. Okay, so just like that. While I'm working with this third for the back of the eye, I'm going to put these 2 in that Ziploc bag. And actually, I kind of cheated. I already have mine colored. I figured why make you watch me do that again. So I'm actually going to put all of these in here, but just let's pretend it's only 2. We're just pretending. So once again, I'm putting it in here. I'm going to kind of, as best I can, like I don't need to squeeze the clay itself, but just kind of squeeze the air out. And then when I get here too, I kind of give it one last squeeze and just try to make sure that there's not too much air in there. Okay? Okay, so of course the first thing that you're going to want to do is use your markers in order to dye the clay, whatever color you want it to be. And then I'm going to roll it up into a ball to start. I'm using the palms of my hand, like that. Okay, and then let's switch this off to the side. Remember too, the markers, the ink from the markers, there is the possibility of it kind of spreading onto your work area. So having something down can be helpful. I have paper down. It does kind of stick to it. However, it's not so sticky that I can't lift it off. Parchment paper would actually work really great for this, or wax paper. Tinfoil, But you know what the cool thing is, if you use parchment paper, wax paper, something like that, is you could always put it into the baggie right on there. And then when it comes out to dry, it'll very easily lift off of it then. Even actually paper, if you just leave it on the paper and then wait for it to dry completely, like once you're done with the project, it does lift off pretty easily after that. So just a heads up. Anyway, now that I've got my ball, I'm going to go ahead and press that down. And I can kind of, if I want to shape it into, maybe get more oblong or whatever, I can do that too. And I'm just using my marker to roll it out. You can use your hand if you've got a legitimate rolling pin. Go for it. use what you got. If you think this is something you might want to hang up, you could always too use something like this and just poke a little hole in it. I don't think I want to, but I'm just throwing that out there in case that's something anybody wants to do. All right, let's see. I'm going to kind of stretch it. So I just picked it up. I'm going to stretch it. I want it to be a little bit more oval or oblong shape. So I'm just kind of getting it into the shape that I want it to be. And I think something like that's looking pretty good. Fabulous. All right, next up. Where do I want that eye to be exactly? I think I want to put it a little more towards the front. And actually, do I want to turn it this way? So it's facing the same direction as that one? Maybe I do. Okay. And I might even, tilt it ever so slightly like that. Yeah, I think like that. Okay, I'm going to press that down in. And we've got the base of our eye. Now we need the lid though. So the lid, we've got eyelids. They go like that. They keep our eyes protected from debris and whatnot. So I'm going to grab some more clay, and for the bottom part, I actually have different color lids on mine. For the bottom, it's yellow, and then you can see I've got the orange on top. So the orange, I'm actually going to come back after the clay is dry, and I'm going to add that on, like with marker, not kneading it all together. So that I'm going to do a little differently. I don't think I need quite that much clay. So let me just go ahead real quick. And we'll get that yellow in there. Try to get as much as I can in one shot here. Let's see how that looks. Roll it on up. This is where we get our fingers good and colorful. So fun though, so satisfying. Alright, it's a baby amount of yellow. It's like a canary yellow right now. Very soft and pastel-y, which is fine, but I want it a little more intense than that. So here we go. I'm going to do just one more. And of course, you guys take your time. You don't have to rush like I am. I just don't want our demo being like 40 minutes long. So, nor do you, I'm sure. So now I'm going to just go ahead and get that all nice and mushed together. Okay, I got that. Now I gotta decide how I want this to look. So a lot of people will actually have the lid go all the way down to the base, but I don't think I want that because I still want these like red fiery things. And so I think I'm gonna start off by making mine as a coil, and then I'm just gonna flatten it a little bit. So here's my ball. Remember, use the palm of your hands. So this part here to make those coils. La, la, la. Oops, that one wanted to join in on the fun. Okay, so there's my coil, and I'm just going to take and flatten it a bit. Once again, you can roll it out if you want to. I might roll it out just a little bit. This looks like it's going to be too long, but that's okay, because I can always take my scissors and cut it, or this little wooden tool. I can always use like a chopstick or something too, right? To do that. Let's see. It's gonna go kind of something like that. Is that what I'm liking? I think so. And how high do I want that to go? Do I want it to kind of come up here? I'm going to just play around with this a little bit and see what I like. I think so. And then I think I'm going to stop it around here. So I'm going to want that upper eyelid as well. Another thing I'm noticing, I think I don't want to see that orange behind it. So real quick before any of this dries, I'm going to actually come on in. Oh, that's a little tight in there, so. But I'm going to bring in a black marker. There we go. And I'm just going to add some depth to this. Let's see if I can sneak in that little edge there. Because I want it to seem like dark behind the eye. So all I'm doing right now is I'm like lifting up the edge. I probably, if I tried, I could probably get the eye off all the way. I just don't want to wreck anything. So I'm just going to color around it. So if you think you like what I'm about to show you here, probably smarter to do this before you put the eye down. Learn from your teacher. Learn from your teacher's mistakes, I should say. Alright, so I'm kind of coloring in. I know that a lot of this is going to get covered up anyway, but I just want it to be like kind of dark behind the eye. I think that'll look cool. I don't want it to get confused with the outer part of the eye, with it being orange. So that's why I'm adding this darkness. And I'm not too worried about the outline of it, because once again, I know that it's all going to get covered anyway, the outline portion of it. So let me show you what I mean. So now, ooh, do you see what I'm saying? That looks kind of cool, right? All right, so I'm liking that, feeling better about how that's looking. I'm just gonna make sure I have enough on the top that I'm not gonna see any of that orange when I add the top eyelid down. Okay, so my top eyelid is actually orange and red, like candy cane kind of. See how it's twisting there? So I'm gonna divide this in half. Oops, let's spread that out. So this one's orange. La 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 la. Try that, see if it's orangey enough. I don't want it to be quite as intense as the background. Like, I definitely want to see a difference between this orange and that orange. So I'm not going to make it quite as intense, but I definitely don't want it to be peach either. So like right now, that's too peachy. So we're going to color in some more orange. And just as a reminder then too, as you're working on this, just make sure that that bag is keeping closed with the air dry clay in it. If you can get it all done in one day, cool, but also we have 2 days. So just, know that we've got next class as well to work on this. The following class, we will start our second dragon eye. All right, that's looking better. Now let's get our red one. I don't think I need too much. I might do a little more. It's just, I guess, better to have too much. I can always use any extras that I have from this for any of the detail stuff as well. Like, for example, I'll probably use that leftover yellow for one of the spikies. But for today, I just want to for sure get the back of the eye into place, the glass eye into place, and the eyelids. Like, that's going to be our musts for today. And then next class, as long as we're keeping everything nice and dry, or nice and, not dry, I guess, nice and moist in our plastic baggie, that nothing's air drying out on us, we should be able to very easily, if it's all the same consistency and moisture, we should very easily still be able to come back and add all of those details next class. Okay, I just wanted it to look a little bit more red than pink, so I'm just adding a bit more red in here. Be prepared to have stained fingers for the next few days of art class. That's just what's going to happen, right? You could always, I suppose, if you've got any of those like gloves, you could always wear those. Like the, I don't know, they're not rubber. What are they made out of? Whatever they're made out of. All right. Now I've got my reddish one. Why do I always drop things? It's so funny. In real life, I swear I don't. For some reason, demo videos, it's like, let's drop everything. Okay, making a coil, because once again, I'm going to twist the orange and the red, and then make a top eyelid out of that. So starting off, I usually like to start off with that sphere shape and then get the coil going from there. I will flatten. Once it's twisted, I'm going to flatten it too, so it's kind of like how the bottom one is flattened like that. So taking these two, we're going to twist and twist, try to apply the same amount of pressure. And of course, you know, yours is going to look different than this. Like, I'm showing you how I'm making mine, but remember, you're making yours your way. It's just that when I designed it, I've got that twisty look to it. So now I'm going to flatten that. And now let's make that a top eyelid. I'm going to bring it to a point on this side. Yes. That's looking so cool. Getting a little bit of an angry eye going on here. Fabulous. Love that. Although I do wish that this was there. I wonder if I'm going to try something, and this might be a little dangerous. Or do I just pinch it? I'm going to just pinch it. Yeah. So I'm going to pinch it like this. Ooh, yeah. Okay, I like that. And then you cut off the excess and just pinch it, and it's going to kind of come off the edge like that, which I know is a little different than what I've got going on here. It's okay. We're using that as a template, and then of course make it the way you want. That's as far as I am getting for today. All of this stuff, all these little pieces, keep those too. Okay, we're going to be able to use those for the details next class. So I'm going to put this all in here. If you want to put like parchment paper around it, you know what might be a good idea too? Maybe is having this in a separate bagging than that, just so it's not sticking to it. Just thought of that as I was going. So I'm going to keep this one nice and airtight like this. Grab out a separate baggie. I'm going to put this one in a separate bag, just so that that's not, I don't want anything like attaching to it that I didn't want attached to it. So I'm going to squeeze the air out of this one as well. It's a little bit bigger bag than I probably need, but at least now they're all nice and airtight and ready to go for the details next time.